3, 2, 1. Okay, so it asked me to find the area of a rectangle. Does anyone recall from last year the area formula for a rectangle? A couple people do. What do you think it is, Dan? Yeah, it is length times width. Okay. So, I mean, I could just straight up multiply 500 times 22, 1200s. But the instructions told me that I needed to use the distributive property. So let's go ahead and think about that. I see that one of my numbers is not a whole number. It has a decimal in it. So I'm going to just think of my whole number, and then I'm going to think of the decimal. So I'm going to find a partial product for this area and a partial product for this area, right? So what I need to do is I need to distribute the 500 to the 22. I also need to distribute it to the 1200s. And I know, according to Phoenix, that if I multiply, I can find the area. So let's find some partial products. I'm going to use the distributive property to do this. So here I have the 500, and it's outside of my decimal number, 22 and 1200s. Oops, I wrote the wrong thing. Should be plus. There we go, that looks better. So now it's time to distribute. And remember, distribute means to pass out. So I'm going to pass out. Well, not literally pass out, I hope. I'm going to distribute my 500. So this problem becomes 500 times 22 plus 500 times 12 hundredths. So I have two multiplication problems. That means I'm going to have two products. Neither one of them is the whole product, so they're partial products. They're just parts of my whole. So let's find the area of this first rectangle. 500 times 22. Luckily, my 500 has two zeros. I know that it's 100 times larger than 5. So I know that my final product needs to have how many zeros? 2. Why do you say 2? Because you can count, right? You counted 1, 2. That's exactly right, because there are two zeros in 100. And 500 is 100 times larger than 5. So now I just say, okay, well, what's 5 times 2? So I can write a 0 and then regroup the 1. What's 5 times 2? Plus the 1? Is there anything stopping me from writing out the standard algorithm? Does this seem like a reasonable estimate that 500 groups of 22 is about 1,100 or 11,000? Seems reasonable to me. So I'm going to save myself the time, use my tools, and save myself from having to write out the standard algorithm. Here's my second partial product. That's basically finding the area of this little rectangle right here, right? So I see a 500. Let's count our zeros. How many do we have? 2. So I need to add how many zeros to my product? 2. Brian's going to get this right. Now I see my 5 times 2. Write a 0, regroup the 1. 5 times 1. 5. Plus 1? 6. Fantastic. Now, did I have 12 or did I have 12 hundredths? So remember what I said. What do I do whenever I'm multiplying with decimals? I'm going to pretend that they're not there. Ray, move your desk over here next to me. Move your desk over here next to me. So I'm going to count 1, 2 places, and then I found my partial product. Now I'm going to bounce it back in. How many times? 2. Why? Because I bounced it out 2 times. 1, 2. And really all that's going on is what I actually have, 12 hundredths, is 100 times smaller than 12. So to show that my partial product is 100 times smaller, I've moved my decimal 2 places. How many zeros are in 100? 2. So hopefully that's making some sense. So here, my first partial product was 11,000. My second partial product is 60. So what do I do to find my whole product? If I'm trying to find a total? Yes, just like if you went to the store and you purchased 6 candy bars and they each cost 50 cents, in order to find the total, you would add up the cost of all of the candy bars. Same thing here. If I want to find the total, I simply add them together. So what is 0 plus 0? What is 6 tens plus 0 tens? Notice how I'm just looking place value by place value. I'm not freaking out about it. I'm not having to write the whole thing. And then, do I have any hundreds? Do I have 1,000? Do I have 10,000? That's my product. So what did I do? The question asked me to find my area. I broke it down using distributive property. I passed out or distributed the 500. Why did I choose the 500? Why didn't I choose the 22 and 1200s? Because I chose the easy number to multiply a lot of times with the zeros. Any number that ends with a bunch of zeros is going to be a lot easier than like 512 or something crazy. So I found partial products, and then in order to find the total product, I found the sum. Very good. There's only one thing I haven't really addressed. Remember what I say, no units, no... Okay, so if I had feet times feet, that's going to be feet squared. Why is it squared? Because feet is being multiplied how many times? 2. And remember, exponents tell you how many times to multiply something by itself. So if I had foot times foot, that's foot. Foot is, how many feet do you have? 2. Okay. Feet squared is area. Foot. I like that.